Have you heard the story of the horse that held up nearly half the traffic of London? No? Then let me tell you about him. I don't know his name, but let us call him Bill. Well, Bill started off to work that morning in a rather bad frame of mind. Probably he got out of his stable the wrong side, Anyhow, he was not at all pleased at the thought of having to be harnessed up with Mood to pull a big, heavy lorry from the city to the docks. So he made up his mind to be as troublesome as possible. When the lorry reached the middle of the Tower Bridge, in a very place where vehicles are never allowed to stop, Bill decided he would take a rest. He just stood still and refused to budge. The carman jumped down and pleaded with him, then threatened him, but all to no effect. Bill simply took no notice. Mud tried to pull alone, but couldn't drag the lorry, and Bill too. Meanwhile, a bus had stopped behind the lorry, and behind the bus 2 or 3 cars, and another bus, but Bill seemed at the least disturbed. A policeman came up and told the carman to move on, but he replied that he would, but he couldn't. Bill could not be persuaded to take a single step forward. Then the police talked to him and tried to drag him forward, but it was no use. Bill was prepared to go to prison rather than move on. Now the traffic was piling up behind far away into the city. Buses, cars, lorries, vans, and motorcycles. While all the drivers were getting more and more impatient, straining their necks to see what was happening. A tug in the river tooted its siren to say it wanted to get through the bridge, but Bill was supremely indifferent to them all. About this time, a little boy was walking towards the bridge, munching an apple. Seeing the long line of traffic, he thought to himself, there must have been a very serious accident. So he hurried on to the place where Bill, now the center of an interested crowd, was still obstinately standing his ground despite all the entreaties of the carman and the police. Dick pressed through the crowd to get a better view, still munching his precious apple. Seeing him, the desperate carman suddenly had a bright idea. "Lend me the bit of apple," he called to the boy. Dick was taken back. He didn't want to give up his precious apple. He was enjoying it too much. But seeing the anxiety on the face of the poor carman, he passed him the half that remained. The effect was magical. As the carman dangled the apple in front of Bill, so he stretched forward to take it. Then he put one foot forward, then the other foot, and before he realized what he was doing, he was over the bridge and on his way to the docks again. Then the buses, the cars, the lorries, the vans, the motorcycles, the tugs were all able to move on again. And all because a little boy had given up half an apple. What a lot of good that little boy did that morning. He hadn't much to give, it's true, but he gave it willingly, just when it was needed most. It only shows what little boys can do if they keep their eyes open for opportunities to help. They may not always be able to do in such a way as public as Dick did, but they can be a wonderful blessing sometimes, even at home. Half an apple, a kindly word, a bunch of flowers, or just a little bit of love sets lots of wheels moving. Try it and see.